Hello everybody, welcome back to Burnt Church. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope it's as cool where you're at as it is here. It feels like fall of the year here. It was 57 degrees this morning here at our house. This is August the 31st is when I'm recording this, and it feels like fall. Well, what we're going to do here today is we're going to start some seeds, and we're going to use 3 different methods of electroculture. If you're new here, I'd like to ask you to subscribe and hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Leave us a comment because we really enjoyed reading them and hearing from you. So we have a lot of professional country folks that watches the videos, and I'm all the time asking little questions of what this is or what that is. And I would say 90% of the time, there's several people in our community that will answer in the comments below. Well, I've got a real good one for you here today. We'll see if any of you can get this one right. Does any of you know what these are? If you know, put it in the comments below. So if you're new here, jump down in the comments and put what you think these are. We're all the time having fun. It's all about having some fun. Here's the seeds out of these watermelons right here. Now, I didn't remember the name of them, but I've looked at the seed pack now, and they're called a Jade Star F1. I had a few of you asking about them, and that's what they was Jade Star F1. But a few years ago, the thing that we went through didn't affect us a whole lot here because we were prepared for it. We didn't have a whole lot of shortages that we witnessed with other people because we had prepared for it. Now, you can't see everything in the future to prepare for, but we try to prepare for what we can. And this electroculture is an experiment that we're doing to see if it helps our plants produce more, or if we can get by maybe with less fertilizer with them. So we're just constantly experimenting with different ways of using the electroculture. So we're going to use it here today, starting seeds, and we'll see what it does. We're going to have one to the side with no electroculture or nothing in it to see if it sprouts and grows as well as the other ones. So I've got 3 different ways of using the electroculture here today, and it came from comments from our previous videos. I'll try to put some links up here to our other electroculture videos, and we would appreciate it if you went and watched those. So we'll go out here first and get some soil out of the yard. And it should be rich with leaf mold and hopefully some worm castings. It's the time of year that the leaf worms is in the soil, so we should be able to get some good rich soil out here. So y'all come along with me, we'll go out here and get our soil. So right here is where we're going to get our soil from. You can see those leaf worms in there. This is a little pile of leaves that has rotted. I think it'll be some good rich soil. That should be full of micronutrients. Now it's got a lot of little branches and stuff in it that we'll probably sift through. Like these little vines and stuff here. So y'all saw there we got this good soil. Well, I'm having to record this video twice. Our first recording, the sound, it was just awful on it. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping the sound's going to turn out good on this one. So we've already got our soil in our cups and the seeds started. So we use this micro-rich soil from out here in the woods, and we use this flower and vegetable garden soil. We mix these 2 together. Now, I'm sorry I don't have the video of us mixing them together. Like I said, the audio was just, it was gone. You couldn't hear nothing. So our first experiment here is with just the common electroculture coil. You can see it here. It's wrapped clockwise. When you're looking down on it, it's turning clockwise. Now, some people think that if you wrap this backwards, that you can flip it over and it'll be right, but it doesn't work that way. You can see here, this is the top looking down, and it's wrapped clockwise. I'm going to flip it over. And I hope it shows up on the video. It's still wrapped clockwise when I flip it. So the only way to fix it if you wrap it backwards is to straighten it back out and to re-wrap it. Flipping it over is still wrapped the same direction. So we're going to put it in this first container here. I've got Copenhagen market seeds in here, and it's in a mixture of this soil and our soil here from the house. The very top layer that our seed is actually in is in this seed starting mix. And that's the same way on all three of these electroculture experiments. So in my other videos, I had a lot of comments of people telling me to use a stick, to wrap my coils around a stick. I didn't do that in the garden any, so we're going to try it here in these experiments that we're doing starting these seeds. So I've got a walnut stick here, and we're going to wrap the coil around this walnut stick and push it into the soil. There's going to be about 4 inches or so of the coil and the stick sticking down in the soil. And we need to wrap this clockwise. So you can look at it here, looking down at it, it's wrapped clockwise. So we're going to put it in the soil. So there's 2 different experiments right here. Now our third experiment, in a bunch of the videos, everybody said I needed to go with a heavier gauge wire. So this was the heaviest gauge wire that I've got. And it's wrapped clockwise. I'll flip it over. And it's still wrapped clockwise. So this is going to be our third and final experiment. We've got 3 different experiments here of the electroculture to see if any of them makes any difference. This one here is our control, I guess is what you would call it. This is how I normally start my seeds. On the very top layer is this seed starting mix. So we've got 4 different experiments here, and this is going to be considered my control to see if these does any better than the control. This is how I always start them. This has always worked for me in the past. Now it may not work today, and we're using new seeds on all 4 of them. They all come out of the same package. So there shouldn't be any difference in the seeds. So we'll keep an eye on these, and as soon as they start sprouting, I'll make another video and we'll look and see if there's any difference in any of them. So y'all stay tuned with us. We'll keep up with these. The only way there won't be another video is if none of them sprout. If none of them sprout, I don't guess I'll have another video about it. This is a lot about fun. I love trying things like this, but it's also got an importance. If we go into a bad economy or go to war, fertilizers and things may become scarce to find. And we're going to need other ways of growing things to feed ourselves. In the 30s here in the U.S., there was a bad depression. And my grandpa lived through it. He's told me many stories about it. How they had nothing, no clothes, anything to wear. But most always they had something to eat. They lived on a farm. They produced their own milk. They growed their own food, and he hunted some. He said a lot of times it would be squirrel meat on the table, but they always was fed. Now the clothes that they had, he said was rags. But I would rather have rags on my back and have a full stomach. So that's what we do here at Burnt Church. We are always trying to learn some new ways of helping what we already know. We already know this works. If this helps it some, we've learned something. So I thank y'all for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.